Welcome back to the After Dark podcast, where we discuss topics that are none of our business. It's your boy Black Mike on the mic. We got Big Stir up top. You already know what it is. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you never miss an After Dark episode. And give us 1 or 5 stars on your audio platform. Leave a comment. We need it. Please. We need it. For sure.
2024, baby. We need to start.
2024. Yeah, it's a new year, baby. So, we are back. New year, fresh. Had a nice little break. Nice little 2 weeks off there. Like Sterling said before, we just started. It was much needed, much appreciated. Good to be back, though, ready to run in the new year and give you a bunch of new content. And 2024 is already starting off insane. Like, we're 4 days in or 9 days into it right now.
a week into it, basically.
A week into it, basically, and we've got news out of everywhere. There's aliens going on, pedophiles are being released. Katt Williams is going against the whole media storm, but whatever, man. But we got New Year, New You, Stir. How you doing, man? How you feeling starting 2024? Reflecting on what was 2023. How are you planning on going into this new year, man?
Yeah, I think that right now, the year didn't start off as good as I'd like it to, which is fine. You got to have speed bumps, got to have road bumps. That's normal. I had a really great New Year's. I really enjoyed my New Year's. I had a good time. And honestly, couldn't ask for anything more. That was probably the highlight of my New Year to start, to be honest. Had some little things, had to deal with some personal stuff for the last week or so. So, that's kind of bogged a little bit of it down. But, still keeping the head high. But looking back on 2023 in terms of the pod and in terms of myself and, just in general, obviously super excited. Like you mentioned, we've got a lot of new content going to be coming out here soon. And I'm, super pumped to, get back on the saddle. Truly, like I said, and you reiterated what I said, really did need that time off and just, decompressing and with a lot of stuff kind of going on and rolling into the new year. But, with looking at, other jobs and moving to different places and things as well, my life could drastically change here in the next 2 to 3 months. So I'm very excited, also a bit scared, which I think is a bit normal. But really looking forward to 2024, holding those goals, financial, emotional, mental, and physical, true. Haven't got my workout in it, not one workout in 2024. I can't even cap. Just based on
really? No, I ain't seen the snap, so I'm not surprised.
Some days I go and I won't do a snap or anything because I'm just
okay, it's hard to tell. I don't know.
yeah, but
it's the keeping yourself accountable thing, the snap.
Right? Yeah, it is like a keeping myself accountable. I haven't went at the beginning of this year yet or in this year yet, but I'm starting tomorrow. It was like I said, I've had a stressful past week, so been trying to handle what needs to be done there and roll into the new year feeling good, feeling confident, man, feeling like a new me. Had a lot of shit happen last year, as you know, but we keep rolling with the punches, man. And for the ladies out there, I want to let you know the man is super single now. I'm just fucking with y'all. I ain't even focused on that. I'm focused on my career right now more than anything, to be frank. So that's kind of where my head's at.
But he'll gladly take anybody who's up for the challenge. He'll gladly take on the challenge.
And it is definitely a challenge for sure. But I appreciate you asking, my man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
And you gotta know. We started the show a little earlier tonight. Talk to me a little bit about how your New Year's was, how's things starting off at the beginning of the year for you, and what's been going on with you. Because we haven't spoken aside from maybe via text here and there since I was back home.
Yeah, dude. I couldn't be happier for 2024 to start. Not to say that 2023 was bad, because very much like you, I think 2023 was a very defining moment. I consider 2023 the year of milestones. There's a lot of milestones that I set for myself back in COVID, and I was able to check a lot of them off. And that's a good feeling. And I've also, I had my fair shares of downs in 2023. And I feel like that was like, I almost appreciated the ebb and flows of the ups and downs of like what I imagine comes with just being, a young adult. And as we progress as adults, those are what the years are going to feel more like, because we're more in control of every asset of our lives. Back when we were kids, very, sheltered with, what was going on in the world. So there was very, very little ebbs and flows. Fortunately for myself in my childhood, I had a very high childhood for the most part. I couldn't complain. But now being older, there's down periods. There's periods where I don't feel as confident, and there's periods where I'm on top of the world, and it kind of makes you appreciate it all as a whole. And I kind of feel, you almost feel like the most alive that you've ever felt, because you're feeling all of the emotions that are out there. But as far as 2024 goes, my phrase for 2024 is by any means necessary. And that's kind of how I want to attack this year when it comes to career, by any means necessary, no matter what happens. That doesn't mean that I'm looking for the perfect career year. If things were to hit the fan, that's okay. We're going to pick ourselves back up by any means necessary. And then as far as the pod goes, and, the whole channel as a whole too, because we're going to start rolling some stuff out here soon. I really want to attack it, add some new cool things to it, get a good new look and kind of like hit the ground running. I'm very motivated by our CTO at heart still, Chad. He's out here killing it. Tactop Airsoft, go follow that channel, man. He's killing it. I'm motivated by like what he's got going on, and kind of want to, reap some of those same benefits or get on track for that too. So that's kind of where my mindset is for 2024 and going forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome for sure, bro. But yeah, I hear you, brother. So let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's
kick into it. I'm sorry, guys. We took some time there. We had to reflect. We had to move forward and kind of look back, and now we had to set the tone for where we're going to go forward. But we are back better than ever, and no better way to start off 2024 with the one and only Katt Williams. Please tell me, if you're listening to this right now and you haven't even seen a clip of the Katt Williams interview, I would advise you to pause this right here. Go watch a few clips out there. You don't have to watch the whole interview. If you do go watch the interview, I know it's good. You might sit down. You might watch an hour of it. Please come back. I didn't tell you to pause to just, disregard. Come back and then replay, because we're going to break it down right here. So in case you didn't see, Katt Williams was on Club Shay Shay, hosted by Shannon Sharp, sole proprietor by Shannon Sharp, as he will let you know at the very beginning of every episode, which is sick. I fuck with it. This interview went absolutely nuts. I'm talking 30 million views in 2 days. It was crazy. Podcast episodes do not see these type of views. To put it in perspective, Joe Rogan is by far the biggest podcast in the whole space. And when he was on YouTube, he was pulling 4-6 million. Those were like big astronomical numbers. Shannon Sharp and Katt Williams hit 30 million in a couple days. Black podcast too, black owned too. So this is a big deal for podcasts as a general. Obviously, we're in this space, so to be aware of things popping off like that is a good sign. But why it went off is because Katt Williams was absolutely going at the whole industry. I mean, he was calling Cedric the Entertainer out, Steve Harvey out, Kevin Hart out, you name it. But there were some crazy clips out there. Sterling, I know you haven't seen the full interview, but you saw some clips out there. What were kind of your initial thoughts and what you think about what you saw so far?
Yeah, I mean, at first, obviously, I didn't even know he was having Katt Williams on, prior. I don't keep up with Shannon like that and Club Shay Shay, the show necessarily. But obviously I'm on social media and I'm, pretty somewhat aware of things that are going on. If you follow Complex, shout out Complex on Instagram or any other platform, Complex will give you the goods. But I think that, if anybody knows Katt Williams as a comedian, like when he was a comedian, or he's still technically a comedian as well, but like when he was like in his heyday as a comedian, he's a naturally vulgar, naturally like outlandish dude. Like, he is not even like, he will not try to sugarcoat anything. He won't tell it how it is. Uses a ton of profanity. It's one of the reasons my mom doesn't like watching him, because he uses a rap load of profanity. I mean, more than you could probably put in a sixth grader's mouth when he first learns the word fuck for the first time, you know? But that being said, I was surprised at Katt's willingness to open up with Shannon more than anything at first. And then I kind of took a step back, even just looking through a few things, and like realizing like Shannon's like a super like well-versed individual, like extremely well-versed. Like, he has touched obviously sports, he's touched the media space. I mean, obviously he's running sports commentary right now in the game. I mean, in my opinion, he is the guy right now. He has surpassed Stephen A. for the moment. Stephen A. is a Hall of Famer. He will go down as the GOAT. But in terms of what we're looking like on that side, Shannon's obviously doing a great job of opening up people's minds, because Katt isn't necessarily the only person he's had up there that's been, you know, a good guest. Yeah. That being said, Katt's just the one that made it go stupid, dummy crazy, because he said some outlandish stuff. And I honestly can't even mark anything necessarily. I do remember a clip about, I think it was Cedric the Entertainer, and he was saying something, and correct me if I'm wrong. He was saying something like, not that he's fake or anything like that, but it's like,
he was saying that. So essentially what the situation was is he was claiming that Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke, right? Yeah, he had a joke about a car, and he was sitting in the car, you see him hunchback. He was doing the whole bit, the whole nine, and then Cedric the Entertainer comes out on, I think it was the King of Comedy special, and he comes out and does the same exact joke with a little twist, and except for they're in a spaceship, and it's like what niggas would be in a spaceship. And he was calling him out, and I think the big reason why he actually went to Shannon Sharp's podcast was he mentioned that Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, these guests, Ricky Smiley, they came on the pod and they were lying on Katt Williams' name. So he was like, I had to come to this platform and, you know, touch base on the lies, because he said, what did he say? He said, he basically said, you can't let the peasants, you know, act like they're the gods. You know, he's like, he's one of the, and Katt Williams is one of the comedy gods. And to be quite frank, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to stand up, the guys that he called out, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, I don't think they can touch him in stand up like alone. Kevin Hart in acting might have Katt Williams. He's certainly bigger, maybe acting talent. I'm not sure. I'm sure Katt Williams might have he might be slightly more versatile.
He's not as he's not as versatile as Kevin Hart is. Or as marketable as Kevin Hart.
He's definitely not as marketable as Kevin Hart, for sure. And not nearly the businessman.
Yeah. Last thought, really, I think, obviously, with comedians all are competing against one another, man. Like, everybody wants to be the best. And I was actually, funny enough, fortunate enough. So this past weekend, I went, I had a solo dinner to myself, you know. I went to a sushi spot called Fushihana right here in Charlotte. Next time you're down here, I don't know if you're a sushi guy or like, it has a barbecue.
Big sushi guy.
Come through. We could go grab a beer and get there for sure. It's super inexpensive, in my opinion. So I sat at the bar, and this is just my like little story time here, just to kind of play it out. I'll make it quick. Sat at the bar, was sitting in a decent amount of space, and then a couple comes in. I have to move over. Then another couple comes in, an interracial couple, actually, black guy and a white lady. Super nice. By the name, I will actually use their names, but super nice. In their early 30s, doing well. Live in a house together, all that great stuff. And so Matt, I just used his name. The black guy, I'm sitting directly beside him. I won't use. That's a pretty basic name.
I mean, we don't know. I would have, when you said Matt, had you not clarified that he was a black guy, I was assuming he was white. So you kind of narrowed down the search there a little bit more.
Yeah. So I was speaking with him, and I was obviously speaking with his wife, and we were just hitting it off there. She was showing me pictures of the kids, and they were absolutely just gorgeous, beautiful mixed kids. And we start talking about, like, he was like, yeah, the other night I turned on Dave Chappelle, and she's like, oh my gosh, I absolutely hate him. Like, he's so rude, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And me and him are just geeking with each other about, like, little stuff that Dave Chappelle has said in the past via shows. And, like, she's like, I don't know how, like, I mean, and he said, and then they've been married for a couple years now, and they were dating prior to that, obviously, for a decent amount of time. He's like, hun, like, this is just like it's honestly might just be a black thing. Like, we just don't take it too seriously. Cause she's a nurse practitioner.
Oh, no.
So, like, and she works in, like, the cancer side of stuff. So she just, like, when he makes fun of, like, people that are, you know, retarded or autistic or even, like, trans stuff, like, she's like, why would you be like that? Cause she's like, people are, and I'm like, I get that, but I don't take it too seriously. And then I proposed to them, because they had never, the entire time they've been together, have been to a comedy show together. Never once. Never one time. I said, I highly encourage you to go. I would, like, just go to, like, a small one. If you like it, great. If you don't, you don't. And it doesn't have to be like a Chappelle or anything, but like a local one. And see how you like it, because that's going to be like a good way to bond. Katt Williams has a whole different type of humor, where he's like, fuck you, I'm going to just start saying whatever the hell I want because I think it's funny. I honestly don't even care if you think it's funny. You know it's funny. You just feel uncomfortable.
That's the best type of humor, by the way.
Yeah, it's the one where you're having to question, like, should I laugh at this? I mean, but then when you see everyone laughing at it, it gives you the okay. It's not to say we don't care about people that are low or, maybe mentally impaired or have mental problems. Nothing like that, because not everyone's blessed with just a quote unquote fully healthy body and mind from day one. So
can we touch on that though for a second? Because the fact that, like, I remember back in the day. So when people used to tell jokes like that, I would just bust out laughing. Like, there was no second thought to it. And nowadays, and I'm the type of guy, I have dark humor, like you, a very dark humor. I find humor in almost every situation. I think you can find humor in probably every single situation. There's some light of humor if you have a sense of humor, right? So I'm the type of person, I'll laugh at anything. I don't care the joke. I know that it's a joke and it's funny. But I still find myself nowadays, like, when there's a crazy joke and I'm at a comedy show, I find myself laughing and be like, oh, wow. I'll be like, man, that's crazy. This nigga, that's fucked. I'll say something along those lines where, like, I'm kind of, like, second guessing my laughter when I know this shit's funny and I know that at the end of the day, I don't really give a fuck. It's a joke. Who cares? Like, I don't really care. But, like, I hate that I second guess myself now, and it's subconscious too. I can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why, like, if you look at just some of the things you see from Katt's interview or his conversation with Shannon, like, when people say those outlandish things, like, they've always said people who are the most vulgar are typically the most honest people. That's one. Two, in terms of people like Katt, and then when he's talking about an industry that he's obviously well renowned in, and the people that are in it, he's been around the game for a very long time. You kind of can't think anything else but to believe him. Obviously, if Steve Harvey says something, right? Steve Harvey is like the staple for, like, comedian to media, like, perfect, like, mix. He's got everything going for him. Like, he's never really hit the Steve Harvey show. Like, I mean, the dude's like, he's also doing extremely freaking well. He's a staple for that. But he's not as, like, I guess, down to nitty gritty as somebody like a Katt. And I think that Shannon should encourage more people. And I mean, I'm sure there'll be even more people want to come on his podcast or on his show because of what Katt Williams did on his show. Because it's like a safe space. That's exactly what Shannon basically was saying. That this is a safe space for y'all. I ain't trying to, like, make you feel uncomfortable. Like, say whatever you want to say. Because at the end of the day, I just want the truth. I just want to, like, have a conversation with you. And when you talk to especially older black men, I know it happens in other communities too, but with older black gentlemen, they will, like, they start telling story time and it goes progressively more and more, not downhill, but it's like you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
You progressively get to the stories.
yeah, you start getting to the story. It's like the surface level story, like, oh, like, I remember that time I was drunk at the in college, and they'd be like, yeah, I remember that time, man, I saw this somebody dude fly through his windshield. It was crazy. I'm like, whoa. Like, he just You just took a left turn, you know what I'm
And
saying?
then when you start talking to your dad, you start getting those stories that is like they have to cap it off with it was a different time, you know.
That's the dude. It's like clockwork.
Yeah,
It's like clockwork at this point. And I like for anybody that's of color, doesn't matter, like white, black, green, or yellow. Like if you're not speaking to your fathers or older gentlemen, they don't have to be your fathers. Like they could just be older people that you like have some type of relationship with. Dude, they can tell you some stuff, and they're gonna think it's funny. It's the same way that a lot of older people find their type of humor so hilarious because it's raw. Like you can't sugarcoat stuff. Like back in the day, nothing was sugarcoated. You couldn't even sugarcoat it because media didn't exist the same way it does. So I think it was a fantastic thing that Shannon and Katt put together throughout that show. Obviously, I didn't see the full of it, as you know, and most people probably have it. But it has obviously done crazy numbers at 30+ million views in just a few days. Like, first off, Shannon's getting buku off of that, buku bread, and Katt Williams is bringing himself back to the light again after kind of not necessarily being in the dark, but being a little bit like.
It's kind of out of the spotlight. He wasn't in a rotation for any press or anything like that. Now he's full-fledged in it to start off 2024.
And he will have multiple podcast requests.
Oh, yeah. Joe Rogan already asked him to come on his pod, so he was like, I'll take him on. But, yeah, and for knowing how content's moving to short form, people's attention span is getting smaller. To see a podcast episode hit 30 million in 2 days, it was like 2.5 hours, really long episode. That is huge for the podcasting space. Hopefully, it's a year of podcasting. Hopefully people start dogging into them. We get some more viral moments because, long form content, I think it's different. Like, the back and forth of a conversation is just better. You can't get it all from these short clips. So, I'm hoping that the podcast space as a whole progresses through, but I digress, and that's kind of the gist of what I got from that Katt Williams. There's some crazy things he said in there, and there were some wild things that he touched on, but it's all he say, she say. I'm kind of on Katt's side, and Twitter's pulling up all the files. They're basically proving him right. Ice Cube saying he coming in right, so. Power to Katt Williams, man. Way to take 2024 and just run with it.
Yeah, he took it on the chin because he knew. I mean, and he's smart enough. He knew that like he was gonna get backlash for this, and people were gonna check him because you can't like be pointing out perfect stuff or like putting out certain situations without like knowing for sure, And excuse me, sorry. That's what I could appreciate about Katt. And like, honestly, I want to like I say this because, like I say, I always mention people of color, but like, yeah, I only say that because I can relate to it, especially when it comes to like father son or just having like a black man on black man dynamic type of thing. Like, dude, like if you want to talk about honesty and brute like just like straight up, shit. Like, that's how my dad and I are now. And that's why, like, everybody should be, right? Everybody should be that way, just in general. But, like, people are too scared nowadays because they have to, like, once again, BPC, sugarcoat it, make sure nobody's feelings get hurt. Like, no matter what you say or do in this life, like, when you're making money, like, listen to this for the people out there. Because they don't care about money. Let me tell you something. When you're making the money you make it, or if it's a woman says, I want a man making 6 figures, or you want to make 6 figures as a woman, or whatever your situation is, or, you're in your career, I just got a raise, I got a $10,000, $15,000 pay bump and a promotion. Guess what? Somebody else didn't get that, and somebody else is losing, but you're winning right now. It's straight, bro. Because if you gotta win, if you're winning, somebody's losing. Just remember that. And that's the way I think Katt kind of thinks. Like, if I'm winning right now, like, they gonna lose. The same ideology. Like, I can't make everybody happy, so I'm gonna say and protect my peace and protect myself. So that's all I gotta say on that. But that being said, really, really excited for this new year. As like obviously Shannon set the bar extremely high for podcasts this year, and you probably have a loop of Katt Williams for the next month or so for sure. He might not go into that same reel like he did on Shannon's, because I think the comfortability of Shannon's podcast, as I kind of mentioned pre-pod, that Shannon said that he's not an interviewer. He is a conversationalist. Like, he wants to have a conversation and have talk to him in detail. And that's what people need to take the approach like. That's why, like, low-key Joe Budden's podcast has done so well over the years. It's because they're just chilling, having conversations. They bring up a topic, and then it's like, oh, like, let's chat. Like, let's see what we talking about it. Like, you ain't gonna stay focused on it. It's like how we talk. Like, you could go on a tangent and say, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? So, that being said, with starting out 2024 with a bang, obviously, as well, if you guys haven't been living under a rock, you've seen the boy Epstein coming back to life through the documents, brother. How are he coming back to life through the documents? This man is bleeding through. He's probably completely, like, start half decayed now, but somehow he's bleeding through his grave at the moment. Mr. Jeffrey Epstein and his island, if you don't know, was a very notorious, is infamous for child pedophilia or for pedophilia, and very, very, very influential or affluent people in the world to visit for those reasons, and obviously have party and be around people that are of similar mindsets. But it is seen in a negative connotation, which I mean, just based on the details, it should be. So they just released the documents this week, and Jeffrey Epstein and this island, they had a few different notable people. Some people like Donald Trump, they're saying, were on there. Not fully 100% proven, but the evidence points direct to people like Donald Trump being there, Bill Clinton being there, as we talked a little bit earlier, Chris Tucker being there, Prince Andrew being there, very, very, very affluent individual. Like, yeah, what did you say?
Stephen Hawking.
I forgot about Stephen Hawking. Yeah, Stephen Hawking. I mean, look, I guess Jeffrey Epstein's island was taking anybody and everybody if they could pay the bread. And so I want to kind of get your idea, or not your idea, because if I recall, and I'm going to double check here before I look crazy. So it was 250 documents were released, some of them redacted, and there's sex tapes on it, sex tapes on it, and whatnot, as well as some reports on what was going on. Before I go and ask you a question, kind of get your thoughts, apparently, and this is just a document through the BBC, they said in one undated email from the release files included as evidence, Miss Ransom says, and Miss Ransom is, I believe, the financier for Jeffrey Epstein. Or she's the accuser, I'm sorry. She said, when my friend had sexual intercourse with Clinton, Prince Andrew, and Richard Branson, sex tapes were in fact filmed on each separate occasion by Jeffrey. So not only was my man Jeffrey running the island, my man was the director, producer, and choreographer. I mean, and we can giggle at it, but obviously it sucks and it's crappy. But just to put it in note, how do you feel, Michael, just about this in a general state? Because I would ask more specific question, but I'll just get your headspace on it. Because we haven't talked about it much. Honestly, I look at it, wish we would have brought it with some of our friends when we were back. If they were released by then, I think that would have been a hell of a conversation.
Yeah.
But I want to get your thoughts on it, and kind of just where your head's at, and just seeing people like Stephen Hawking, Bill Clinton, like your former president, renowned as one of the better presidents of the United States, even though he's got all types of scandals.
Oh, well, first of all, Bill Clinton doesn't surprise me at all. It shouldn't surprise anyone. We knew that Jeffrey Epstein in his house had a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress. That didn't come from nowhere. That wasn't his creative mind one day. It was like, I want a picture. No. That painting was foreshadowing for this picture is on a drive on one of these USBs somewhere. Somewhere this picture really exists. No, I don't. Man, I don't know, man. It's kind of like when I'm thinking of like, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Like, it's kind of like when you think about, what's the meaning of life? What are we? Why are we put on this earth? How big? Or you think about how big the universe is. That's kind of where I go when I think about what's going on that island, because it's so much bigger than what I can fathom going on, because the amount of networks and formation that's going on to facilitate this island. This is a big time business. Like, don't get this wrong, blacklisted or whatever. Like, I don't know, but I would be interested to see like the financials, what's going on there from a financial standpoint, because I know there's money flowing through this, and it's clearly being ran like a full form business. One of I don't know. So I can't wrap my head around these elites going here, having sexual acts with the kids, and what it's really about. Like, is it really about that they're just infatuated with kids? Because it's hard for me to believe that, successful people is one of the prerequisites is that you're a pedophile or something like that. Like, I feel like it's mainly kind of like what we were talking about before we started the pod, was that it's kind of mainly something that you kind of get pushed into, is roped into, and it's almost like a cult club. Like, you come here to this island, we got these pictures of you with this girl. You might not have known the full extent of what was going on. Maybe you were just told, hey, bro, I got this island. You gonna get dummy sucked. And Bill was like, shit, hell yeah, as long as it's not in the Oval Office, as long as it's not, I don't have another scandal, hell yeah. Then this nigga pull up and, there's chicks around, and obviously they're underage and whatnot. I can't tell you what the thought process is. My thought process is probably you loop in these elites, you get these pictures of them, now they're forever indebted to the propaganda of what we might consider the Illuminati, although the Illuminati is, probably much higher than these guys, to be honest. Like, I was watching one thing and I saw, it was actually academics. He was talking about how there's a lot of names on these court documents that we do not know. And the reason before that is these are elites that are the real elites. The real elites you don't know, because real elites know that there is, there's a benefit to not being known and being rich and powerful. When you run stuff and you aren't known, you can't be touched. You know what I'm saying? There's no public opinion on you. You can't be touched. You can be out here doing the most, malicious, malpractice things out here, just outlandish things that you're doing, and you're rich, you can cover it up. NDAs, boom, 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 lawyers, boom, 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 and you don't have the cost of the public opinion. And the public opinion is what usually gets these people. Without the public opinion, Diddy's still out here. He don't care. He's not paying that $30 million that Cassie asked for without the public opinion. The court of public opinion is coming down on him. Now he's losing sponsorship. Now he's losing branding. Now the government has to do something about it. We can't just let you, go over here. You're everywhere. We got to touch on it. So, I don't really know where to wrap my head around this thing.
Yeah, and this could be like the key to unlocking, for public knowledge at least, to what we see as kind of what you were talking about, the ultra elite individuals. As good as the full court documents are, if they choose to actually release them based on power stance. Because if these people are as powerful as they could be, then there legitimately could be like no way we will ever even know their name aside from this.
Yeah.
That's if they can't pull some strings to make sure that their name is never.
Even if it's on there, we can't even be up in arms. Like, if there's like a Jim Brown up there, I'm like, yo, fuck this Jim Brown dude, and that's the end of that. Like, I don't know who Jim Brown is, so I'm gonna be calling for Chris Tucker. I'm like, yo, get that nigga Chris Tucker. Ain't no one gonna be asking for Jim Brown. We don't know that nigga.
Facts, absolute facts. Well, obviously with the whole situation with those guys, we do not condone any of that, like, pedophilia and, any of that nonsense, underage crap and sexual or SA stuff, that's not what we would ever condone, because I mean, one, it's just wrong, and two, it's like, bro, like there's people in this world that I mean, honestly deserve way better than that, because it goes to the human trafficking industry and kind of how scary that could be, and how easy it is for people with power to just move bodies like here to here, here to here, here to here. Oh yeah, we want a 15-year-old with this frame and this. They could find them, bro. Like they could find them, pull them, and they'd be there. Like, and that's super scary. I will say I think I'm very confident that whatever happens within this case, that there will be a ton of backlash to a ton of different people that are actually already in the public eye, as well as some people thinking like us, where they might be like, who the hell is John Doe? Like, who is that? Like, because I think, like, because Trump's name in there is Doe 1704 apparently, or something like that. Which, if there's 1,700 people that have been there, look, I'm just saying, if there's 1,700 people that have been there, that's even scary. I'm thinking this is like a couple hundred people, maybe. Nah. If my boy Epstein was like, nah, it's only like 500K for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, okay, it's not that.
Dude, you can't go to P. Like, it's either, all right, man, do you want to go to P. Diddy's party and take that, or you can come over here to Epstein and get caught up in here. Like, dude, these celebrities are fucked, bro. Hollywood is bleeding. What a post Malone said, Hollywood is bleeding.
I literally, that's the first thought I had when you said that. Great song, by the way.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the people out there that might like look at this and be like, why would they talk about this? I mean, dude, it's like one of the biggest things that's happening in the United States, just in the world in general, because obviously, we've got superpowers like the Prince Andrew and others with extremely powerful people that we know of, and then obviously, like Mike mentioned, some people that we don't even know, which is a scary part about it. And
best believe when that client list come out, we will be touching on that too, because whenever they release the actual list of people who have been deemed guilty of messing with these kids, that needs light on it. And, I think there's going to be some names up there that we're going to have to forever look at them in a different light. But, okay, I don't want to come off insensitive when I say this. There's going to be some big names up here. We can't do the whole R. Kelly thing with all these people. Because, like, I can't listen to Step in the Name of Love, what is it? Fly like a bird, however that song goes. I can't listen to none of that anymore. And when this list comes out, there's going to be movies, music, comedy, whatever it is out there that's going to be banned. And I just don't know if I'm ready to say goodbye to everything that could possibly be up there. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, nah, y'all can't listen to the left no more because Beyonce was there too.
Like no Rush Hour or Fridays? Hell no! Bro.
That's one of the most replayed films on cable TV. I swear. If you go to TNT on like a freaking Sunday evening, like if it's not like any basketball, dude, it will be on eventually within the next 2 days. I promise. But yeah, man, it's a lot to kind of uncapture, and we still don't know as much as we should yet until that date comes. And like I said, I want to say it's the 19th, either of this month or next month. But I mean, it's neither here nor there at the moment. We're gonna play it by ear, keep you guys informed, and hopefully you do the due diligence on your end to fact check us and fact check whatever's on the internet as well. Don't take everything that you see on the internet for literally, because you will be part of the dumb motherfuckers that are stuck in that hole. But to move on, man, because look, I know Mike had mentioned something about some aliens and whatnot. I just took a look. I didn't even hear about this. Like, honestly, I did not hear about this. There was apparently some aliens, 10-foot aliens in the mall in Miami. Look, you probably need to explain that. People are saying it's real. Then I'm like just looking at it now. People are saying it's just people walking around. There's not creatures, but they got like police out there and like ambulance and stuff like that because people are freaking out as well while other people are like chilling. Like, I don't know if people took the red pill or something and like something just changed, but I don't know. That's just me.
Let me break this down because this is probably, and the reason why I started off the show saying 2024 is going to be absolutely nuts because of how we started with this week and the news that we got. This is one of the main stories that like kind of led me to that statement, right? Because the story's weird. So apparently everybody is rushing, they're running, they're sprinting, they're crying, they're screaming, yelling out the mall. And they're all leaving the mall, and there's stories being told by people that what they saw were these 10-foot shadow-like creatures that would just stare at them, and they weren't running towards them, but they would disappear and reappear closer. And so they were freaking out. And there's this one black dude. He has a TikTok out there, and he was talking about what he saw, and him and his girl running, and one thing that makes me believe there might be something here is that it was a black dude who did that. We don't do that type of shit. We don't play about that. We're not no white people. We're not nothing. His story checks out. He said he saw that. He started running and going. That sounds like a nigga saw something. So, but the crazy thing is, they come out, they say, no, it was just a bunch of kids doing a riot. All right. But that does not add up to me. Because, when you look at the video, and I know you say you just looked at it, did you see those cop cars lined up around there?
Yeah.
There was, 20, 50 of them shits. That had been, a riot. And then, one thing is crazy. Everyone's saying was all right, well, if it's real, where's the video of the alien? And then there's that one kind of, blurry ass video that kind of shows something moving, but they're saying those were cops, whatever. But there's nothing clear, and they're like, "You telling me in today's day and age that there's an alien?" Not one person brought up their phone. Fair point. I was like, okay, fair point. But I'm also here saying, you telling me that if there was this big ass riot, 20, 30 cop cars pulled out of this here ambulance all down the road, everyone's running. No one put out a camera and filmed that either? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
I feel like either situation, there would be a camera out.
Yeah, because that picture I'm looking at right now of this supposed alien, that black and white picture, right?
Yeah.
It looks like it could be looking up at you, looking like that, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't even pulling out my phone, bro. I'm out. I ain't fucking around. You think, oh, look, I'm gonna make sure people won't believe. Nah, I'm fucking gone, dude. I don't give a fuck. He's gonna fucking capture me, take me to some, maybe honestly nicer planet, and do some shit and learn about my body. Nah, you got me, bro. Especially if I'm the black dude, I'm with my girl, bro. I'm like, damn, I don't want to seem like I'm scared, but I'm not fighting no fucking dude that's disappearing and reappearing and closer to me.
Hell no. I'm gonna look at this bitch. I'm gonna look at this bitch and be like, hey, did you see what I just saw? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Then we gonna act like we saw what we just saw, and we gonna get the fuck up out this bitch.
And you already know you gonna get back to the spot. I'm hungry. Why didn't you fight that alien? Why didn't you stick up for me? I'm
just thinking about how you really didn't even make sure I was okay or anything like that.
My heart racing like a motherfucker. I'm in the car hyperventilating. You sitting there, I'm hungry. Why'd you not fight that alien for us? What the hell?
You were really looking pussy, running out there. Bitch, I was running from you, not the alien. Been getting on my nerves all damn day. We've been Victoria's Secret for that damn hour.
Yeah. It's your fault that we were stuck in the mall. I didn't even want to go. It's not expensive money. But
no, the game was on.
No, the game was on. Of course, I needed to watch the game. It's last freaking day of the season. I need this. But it is scary just looking at that picture. That's probably the most real. Because if somebody doesn't say that's a cop, I'm like, what cop is shaped like that, bro? What cop is shaped like that? I'd be stupid to say that there's not aliens somewhere on another planet, around this world or around this universe. I'd be stupid to say that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No.
I'd also be stupid to say that we haven't, like, they haven't been, here before, even before technology, because they say that they're like so far ahead of us to the point where it's like their 1900 was like our like 2300.
These niggas could be in the ocean for all we know. Like
just
the crazy ass creatures that we looking for in space could be right there in the ocean and we got no clue. Like Aquaman could really be out there fucking some fishes up and we got no clue.
Aquaman exists, bro. I'm just saying.
Just look what I did to her last night.
just like mermaids, bro. Just like mermaids exist. I do believe mermaids exist, though. I will say that. I 100%.
Why mermaids out of anything? Why is that the one thing, if I'm going to believe in anything, it's fucking mermaids?
It's because sirens, bro. It makes so much sense. Like, the whole story about sirens. Like, no one denies that these sailors that talk about being pulled in by these beautiful voices and whatnot weren't, like, that they weren't real. Like, people are like, oh, it's just like, it's a tale, it's like a legend, story thing. I don't be hearing people be like, oh, well, I mean, like, no, that can't be real. Bro, if that many dudes are just dying, like, out of nowhere, this ain't no plague in the middle of the ocean. I just think so because I think that humans or fish and humans have adapted, and there's probably been some weird reproduction that's went on in the past that has allowed that to happen as well. So that's my only reason for that. I don't want to see a mermaid because I feel like they wouldn't be as pretty as you think they would be, and it'd just be weird as hell. Like, why you ain't got no legs?
If there was a mermaid that is definitely was bred in the South with these country ass niggas, one of them definitely tried to get something off in one of those fishes. So if there's a mermaid, you're right. I'm telling you, there's somewhere in the South.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But definitely want to put that out there. Obviously, like, for the people that are, like, big alien heads, I'm not a big alien head or, like, big, like, tin hat guy. Like, that's just not my thing because I think it can be a little bit overbearing and weird. But I definitely would say as these years go on, if folks haven't already noticed, like, you're seeing us as a mankind become more aware of the things that we thought were there as the days and the years go on. Like, because of the amount of technology we have, obviously the amount of exposure we get to day-to-day contact with people, the phones, all types of stuff. So, and people honestly just not giving a fuck. That's also another thing. People just start spazzing, like, yeah, dude, there's fucking aliens. Like, yeah, they're, like, right here. Like, they're chilling, like, in your backyard, like, probably sitting there. You think there's a deer in your backyard at night? No, there's actually just chilling, like, aliens in a deer form. Like,
did you watch that one movie on Netflix?
You know exactly what
yeah. Okay, that's what I thought of as soon as you said that.
Dude, I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but that shit was fire. I love that shit. Actually, let's not say it was fire. I really liked the movie.
The ending pissed me off, but like,
I
feel like there was a lot of build up to like nothing, but there was so many Easter eggs and it's crazy. What is it? What happens at the end of the world, or what is it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something at the end of the world. Something about the end of the world. The crazy part about it is it was produced by Barack and Michelle Obama, and when the writer wrote it, he said that Barack said that this is basically like if this were to happen, it would basically go just like you have it, just with a couple things different. So essentially what we saw is Barack saying, if this were to happen, this is how it would look. And the crazy thing is, right when that movie went out, it came out that China's been trying to tap into like the Texas servers and whatnot like that. So yeah, it's crazy.
Nah, that shit was wild. And I'm thinking, like, you think about it, like, Barack's already saying, he's like, yeah, like, low-key, like, the black dude in the movie, I can't remember his name in the movie now, but, like, he's low-key, like, Barack in this situation. He's just not the president. He just has a lot of knowledge. He's under some people, and he just knows, like, oh, like, damn, I should have done a little bit better. Well, we're fucked now. Because, like, when that, like, little screech thing happened or whatever, bro, I ain't gonna lie, like, if I was wearing headphones, like, if I wasn't just watching the TV, because even watching on the TV, I was like, shit, bro. Like, hey. I'm like, hell no. But it was like cool. It was. I love deer, bro, and you could tell it was CGI, but like, I fucking love deer. Like I was this shit's dope. And then I saw like fucking 150 of them bitches just chill and that big ass fucking buck.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would have shit myself. Because all he got to do is just pick you up with a little.
Yo, honestly, I'm surprised Tesla didn't sue Netflix, bro, because that shit could have scared a lot of people from driving a Tesla.
Oh, yeah.
That shit could
that movie was like a Black Mirror episode. That's literally it was an extended Black Mirror episode.
Like the most realistic and eye-opening like Black Mirror episode because it's something that could it's showing things that could tangibly affect us right now. Like not something in the future, not some crazy tech we might have in the future. It's like, oh, the tech we have right now could already go sideways.
Yeah, that shit's insane. And I hate that guy's daughter in the movie. I just hate her as an actress. Like
she plays the same type of role all the time, man.
Like the bitchy, like
progressive,
aggressive ass girl. Like I was, oh my god! And that little snaggle tooth, that little mini tooth in her.
She definitely got that Netflix deal because they be putting her in everything.
She was in that one movie with the white kid, or the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, she's in the Black Mirror episode. She's in the show Industry.
Yep.
Yeah,
bro.
That's so good.
When I saw her naked, I literally I was like, yeah, I'm done. I had to take it. I was like, what's got to happen? And I'm like, just casually watching. I'm not even thinking. I'm like,
what about the other? I can't think of her name, but the other chick in that show,
the white girl.
When she had her scene, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay.
I was like, HBO going crazy.
I was like, this show's pretty good. I think I like this show. I think I'll keep watching.
This sounds bad, but I was like low key waiting for her scene to happen because I'm like, if this
you knew it was coming, like 2 months ago.
I was like, hey, I'll take you right now, girl. Like, hey, come down to the States. I'll be here waiting for you. But yeah, that's quite a bit of tangent. But it is crazy, like how like Black Mirror specifically in terms of movies, it's been like on or shows has been on that kind of like dystopian like worst case scenario type of stuff, like weird stuff, and then like this movie drops, and then you have like alien stuff that we were just talking about, and all these other things coming out into supernatural and just like crazy world events. Like it's a lot, bro. It's a lot, and the sad thing is what I think it is I think it's literally just the Earth, and I don't please, I don't want to get canceled for this. The Earth is cleansing itself from the amount of people because we are overpopulated. Like, I don't even mean to be that
makes
guy.
So much sense to me. Like, if someone would cancel you for that's almost like we're the germs in like this human organism in the Earth, and the antibodies are coming in. Swoop.
Yeah, and then I think right now, like, everything that's happening in the world, and I don't want to mention anything because I don't want to give them people the ability to be like, oh, he thought about that situation, and he didn't get. Like, there's a lot of things going on with the world, weather, politics, etc., that is literally just the Earth's way and the humankind's way of literally just cleansing, and not cleansing saying people are bad, like, not saying anything like that. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because it's literally an overpopulated world that we're in. Like, there's 8 billion plus people. There, just a few years ago, there were 7 billion. Like, stop.
But it's very top. It's very top heavy with older individuals. Like,
yeah, it's about
to hit a huge decline. Like, it's going to drop off. Like, it's crazy because we're at the most that we've ever been, but it's so heavily weighted to older individuals, and like it's kind of keeping the alarms from going off when they really should be going off because we are not reproducing at the level necessary to kind of keep this thing up and running. And a lot of nations out there are seeing their numbers and noticing 50, 100 years from now they might very well be extinct.
I want to say it's South Korea, but there's some Asian country that's like.
I couldn't remember it. I didn't want to.
Did Chad's girlfriend mention that? Or
she probably did.
But like, talk about they compete state in like way quicker, like not even like 100 years type shit, like 50-something years, like, which is OD. Like, imagine your whole race just dying.
I mean, like they're not reproducing, so it's either they're going to start depleting as a race, or when a bunch of them fall off, whoever those males are though that are still around, boy, they gonna be swimming in that bitch.
Yeah, they got
the literal last man on earth situation, they gonna be swimming in it.
I was gonna say, they get like a company. They're like a business. A country's like a business, country, and be like, well, we're gonna have to outsource for this type of thing. We might have to change, make some races.
Get some Mandingos in here.
Exactly. But yeah, and that's a lot. I mean, obviously, we'll go to a little lighter subject. Not lighter, but just the things that are going on in the world. Also, in the way the world started off, or the year started off, we were fortunate enough to have the college football playoff last night. Championship game. Obviously, the week before we had the semifinals games, which were super awesome. I really enjoyed both of them. And we had Washington face Michigan. Michigan came out with the W at 34-13. I'll kind of give my thoughts. I think Mike and I talked like a little bit like pre. And that being said, I think we both agreed that we wanted Washington to win. Michael Penix, good quarterback, all that great stuff. And Michigan came out and just mollywopped them off the rip. They just got off to such a slow start, and I was like, damn, like I don't think they're gonna be able to do this, bro.
Yeah, no, that shit was crazy. Well, I mean, Michigan was clearly the better team all around. Like we were saying before, it goes against every black person's natural instincts. No one had a dog in this fight unless you're a Michigan or Washington fan. Everybody else out there really didn't have a dog in the fight. There's I don't think there's people who are over here like miscellaneous Michigan fans or miscellaneous Washington fans that kind of bandwagon in there. I don't think that was really the case. I think everyone just wanted to see a good game. And if you were a black person, then you were rooting for the black QB most likely. That's what I did. I was rooting for Michael Penix, especially because he had he had all the injuries. His story was crazy. He probably should have been the Heisman looking back at it.
Yeah, that was wild as hell that they really just gave the Heisman to the dude. I mean, granted, his stats were insane.
Yeah. If only the NFL would be willing to, take stats into consideration when it comes to the most prestigious award, then, maybe they might get it right too. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this Michigan-Washington game. Look, I'm going to say it here. The college football championship has been fucking dog shit for the past few years now. And I'm kind of
The semifinals have been great. The semifinals have been great.
But I'm talking about the championship.
Yeah, the championship, it's like, dude, they get weighed against a team, and it's just like, one of the teams is just the difference in there's been a couple of good ones, but yeah, for the most recent years, it's been pretty freaking bad.
You know what the problem is?
Embarrassed last year.
The problem is parity. That's the problem. We're getting parity now, and it's going to be extended. And I thought I wanted it, and I still do, because I do agree with you. I do like the games leading up to the championships. They're fun. They're exciting. You don't know who anyone can win, but it almost feels like what ends up happening is we get a team that comes in there and they have a great season and they make themselves to the championship, and it's very noticeable that the team that's usually automatically in there built like that just mollywops. TCU got mollywopped last year by Georgia.
No, they got curb stomp, brother. That was
curb stomp. And then, I mean, this game, I don't like, it was where it was a good game, but like if you were really watching it, as far as who was dominating the game, like it was very much the same thing, just not kind of on the score base. Like, obviously, Washington could have pulled away and won that game somehow. Like, they had the chances. But if you were really watching that game, Michigan controlled it from the start, and they didn't let go at all, in my opinion.
Yeah. Washington definitely showed some fight. I mean, towards like in the third quarter, like did a really good job stopping the run.
The defense for sure, yeah.
The defense stepped up. Like I ain't gonna cap. Like they really were working their ass off, and then like then just the last couple touchdowns they got were just like.
But at that point, they knew they were like this shit was fucking.
And then Michael Penix is getting his ass fucking rocked. He's sitting here holding his ribs and shit. I'm like, oh hell! Like my boy done played in this championship game and then got hurt, and he like I don't even know what he's trying to do NFL that stuff wise. Like he fucked if he hurt because he already had so many injuries anyways. Nobody wants to take you if you're fucking staying injured like that, you know. So.
And this nigga Jim Harbaugh has got to stop calling J.J. McCarthy the best quarterback of all time at Michigan when he constantly throwing 10 passes a fucking game.
Bro, they're like he's slow. I'm listening to Kirk Herbstreit stroke this man to the moon about he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the game right now. I'm like,
what do you mean? Like from what have you seen? That's showing you that. Like, can we stop?
I think the kid will be a good quarterback, you know, at the next level if you give him time to develop. I really do. I genuinely believe that. But like he's no like superstar. Like Michael Penix is like low key was last night was like I've only watched a couple of games this year because Washington obviously plays on PST most of the time they're playing, and then obviously watched the most recent one and a couple ones before that. But, dude, that dude can sling. If you give him a little bit of time, bro, that dude can sling.
Yeah.
And that shit be coming out.
That little lefty.
Yeah, that left-handed shit. But, I mean, he can dart. And he missed a couple passes last night, obviously due to a bit of pressure. There was one that he wasn't under pressure. I think it might have just been like, damn, he's way more open than I thought he was going to be. But I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. J.J. McCarthy would do fine at the next level. I think the quorum guy for Michigan – he said he's not even playing in the NFL or even going to try right now. And then, like, they got a lot of talent over there, and I guess I'm glad that Harbaugh, like, got his dub. I mean, shit, it could be a Harbaugh year. You never know. You never know. It could be if everything goes.
It very well could be. I don't know if we have something to say about that, but, like, it very well could be a Harbaugh year. I expect them to be there.
It would be cool.
I expect them to be there. Oh, Lamar getting the Super Bowl ring would be fire.
Well, he did say that when they draft him, I keep popping up on my TikTok as like the Lamar, like people hating him, like that. You heard the woman say, I can't remember her name. She's like, I want my quarterbacks to be more quarterbacky, and it, like the beat drops, drink it, dope, super, yeah, and it just goes. It's actually sick. But he did promise, like at his draft, he said, I'm gonna get us a Super Bowl, and I'm like.
That would be, that'd be lit. But, like, I have to be honest, though, if, like, he were to get that Super Bowl against my Cowboys, it would be fuck Lamar for the rest of, like, the rest of his career. Like, I'm being dead ass. It'd be fuck that nigga, bro. Don't do that shit against my squad. But, no, that... I was also happy to see Jim Harbaugh get his ring. I fuck with him as a coach. He's been a dog everywhere he goes. Success follows. I kind of hope he goes to the NFL. I
don't think he's going to leave. I genuinely don't think he's ever going to leave Michigan until he retires.
He honestly shouldn't. Like, if you're a powerhouse college football.
They're paying him dummy bread, too.
Dummy bread, your job is never on. Like, he's good. Like, he can have that job until he's ready to say, I'm done with it. Like, they're not getting rid of it.
Look at Mac Brown. Mac Brown was at Texas for God knows how long, and they couldn't make it back after Vince Young.
Yeah.
Like, literally could not make it back. And then they finally got back this year and then lost to Washington after that boy was slanging on their ass. But, yeah, man, super enjoyable. I love college football, man. College football is one of the cool things, one of the cooler sports to be able to watch this time of the year. And it's a good culmination. Obviously, the really crappy part about, obviously, college football season ending and the NFL season coming to an end here in a month once Super Bowl comes around and whatnot. Is that we have to unfortunately wait until fucking the summer for the next, like, competitive time for a major sport, which is going to be awful. But you never know. Things could pop up, become a little bit more interesting. But
March Madness, right?
Yeah, but I just can't keep up with that. Like, UNC is doing really well right now. I don't even know how. That team, like, at first I watched them and I'm like, dude,
That's a squad, bro. It's the 4-year cycle. Everybody's seniors. Baycott, RJ Davis, like, you know how we go. We win our championship. We get these 5-star recruits, make them become college guys and stay the whole 4 years, get a degree. And then once they get old, that's when we get our ring. It's the Carolina Foreman.
Yeah, and that's where Duke's fucking up. But,
fuck State. It's up for you guys tomorrow too, by the way.
They actually, like, you know, it's a rivalry game, but UNC might actually put them in the dirt, like, legitimately.
Oh, we beat them breaks off them niggas. Fuck them niggas, bro.
Like, it'll be impressive to see if NC State even competes enough with them, but enough about that. We'll talk about March Madness as it gets closer. Honestly, I usually don't watch March Madness if UNC's in it, like, after, like, in the Sweet 16. And then if they're out of it, I just watch, like, the last couple rounds just to, like, kind of keep up here and there. I won't watch the game in full. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that being said, even more exciting, speaking of the NFL, we got the NFL playoff picture set. It is the bracket. It is time for depending on the year, the best time of the year for sports. Being that you have, what did we say at the beginning of the season? I think we both agreed on it. This is going to be one of the best NFL seasons in a long time. And I think it's living up to that expectation right now. You're seeing all types of different storylines. Let me just break it down for you guys. I got the bracket pulled up here, NFC and AFC for wildcard weekend coming up. For the people that are out there interested, want to know channels to watch, I'll give it all to you, bro. Like, just make sure you subscribe, like, and continue to come back. But so wildcard weekend, we got January 13th, 14th, and 15th. So that being this upcoming Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Our first game of the weekend. Excuse me, I'm sorry. First game of the weekend, I'm pumped about, and I'm rooting for my man CJ Stroud hard, honestly.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, the 4th seed. Cleveland Browns, the 15th. That's at 4:30 Eastern time on NBC. I will be tuning in, and I will be probably half drunk at that point. Your second game on Saturday will be, holy shit, let me make sure I get this right, will be your Miami Dolphins, number 6, at KC, which is going to be a very interesting game.
-3. It's supposed to feel -3 degrees. It's supposed to feel like -9.
No, you wouldn't catch my
Miami's getting the fuck out. Like, they getting whooped, bro. Them niggas not prepared. I'm telling you, they're not prepared.
Somebody will get cracked and they go catch a stinger and like, damn, that shit been stinging for 3 quarters. I don't know. That's so good.
Yeah, bro. Like, don't be hitting me, bro. I'm running out of bounds every time I get the ball. Sliding and shit.
Facts. That's on Peacock, 8:15 Eastern time on Peacock. Fuck Peacock. They fuck up.
So most of y'all niggas not about to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, if you want to pay to, like, they don't even offer free trials. So I looked into it, I think they used to and they stopped.
Dude, they should let you, like, watch the game for free. Like, you should be able to go on Peacock and that game should be free and all the attractions just on their platform.
That I concur. Well, those would be your games on Saturday. Only 2 games on Saturday. Those are 2 AFC games, by the way. Then your first game on Sunday. So they're doing all the AFC before the NFC games. Your first game on Sunday, that's, Sunday time, 1 p.m. Shit pops off, 1 p.m. Eastern. You got the number 7 Mike Tomlin Pittsburgh motherfucking Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are about to lose that shit.
That would be funny.
I mean, I would not even be even a little bit surprised. But following that game, you got a really interesting game. I know Mike is looking. He's probably got the beers waiting. I don't know if you still got the Chewies in the house. Might have to crack one open.
Oh, I'll be it.
Oh shit! You're going?
Yeah, I told you that, nigga. What?
You said that, and my brain was like, I don't think I even processed it. I'm dead ass.
Yeah, I'm going to the game, bro.
My man Mike is gonna be right there in fucking Dallas at the AT&T Stadium, talking to Jerry, saying what's good, tell him to fund our podcast or just give us bread. Period. That's number 7 Green Bay Packers at your Dallas Cowboys at 2. And that's going to be at 4:30 Eastern time. It'll be 3:30 Central time for my man Mike while he's out there. That's on Fox. Damn, wouldn't it be a shame if you lost and they were there?
I'll cry, bro.
Honestly, I'm sorry.
You know I'll be so fucking hurt, boy, just in the stands. Oh my god, and Jordan Love's bitch ass. Oh, we got the certified lover boy killing us and shit. Hell no.
Honestly, I don't want them to lose. Being that's like a Cowboys game for you. Like that should be your first Cowboys game at the AT&T Stadium, right?
Yeah, well, first one in general, but yeah, first at the AT&T too.
Yeah, dude, I would hate that for you. I don't wish that I would, but it would be low-key kind of funny. I would laugh at you. I would wait until like the next day to like rip your shit, but like that's just me. Then following that game, I think most of the games will be decent, but following that game, you got your number 6. This is NFC, by the way. Los Angeles Rams at Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions about to stomp them.
I'm excited for that game. What? You don't think that's gonna be a good game, bro? I
think Detroit's about to stomp them. I respectfully think Jared Goff is about to go dummy like crazy.
But is Matthew Stafford like back in his old place, like a playoff game?
Storylines are insane, like right because Matthew
crazy.
He never even took him to the playoffs. He didn't even go to the playoffs until he was at the Rams.
Yeah, he won the Super Bowl first time.
Yeah, that's insane. But that's number 6 versus number 3, Detroit Lions. 8:15 Eastern time on NBC. Going to be a good game. I still think Detroit's going to whack some second half type shit. And then Monday night, your Monday night game, you got the trash ass Philadelphia Eagles. At the number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers against that man Baker Mayfield. Hey, he's a former Panther. That means he's gonna probably lose. That's Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, and ESPN Plus. And being your 2 number 1 seeds, you got the NFC at number 1 seed being obviously the 49ers, best team in the land right now. Aside from the Baltimore Ravens, they're pretty equidistant to me. And then you got your Baltimore Ravens number 1, and that basically whoever is the lowest seed of these teams that loses or that wins will play the according team based on their conference. So I want to just start off game by game for you, all right? Because I'm excited to talk about this. This is probably what I'm looking forward to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to break it down game by game for you. We'll start with your boys first. I want to ask 2 things. 1, who's going to be the MVP of that game? And then 2, what you think the scoreline would be. And then you can elaborate however else you want to.
So MVP and the score.
MVP and the score.
Okay. MVP.
Score plus winner. You know what I mean.
Yeah. So MVP of this game, we're at home, undefeated at home past 2 seasons, which I should honestly say it again, undefeated at home in the past 2 seasons is honestly ridiculous. I don't care what nobody says. Like, that's crazy. But it also gives me a pause for concern because it also kind of makes me feel like one is due. I'm a firm believer in, like, especially teams that go undefeated all the way through the season. Like, you need that now. You need to be reminded that you can lose to kind of like keep you engaged throughout the whole game, every game. But I don't think that would be the case against Green Bay. I think the MVP of that game will be Dak Prescott. Mainly because Green Bay is a good team, and I am not overlooking them. I am a believer in Jordan Love. I was singing his praises at the beginning of the season. To me, there's a lot of throws he makes where he looks like Aaron Rodgers, and I don't mean like he looks like Aaron Rodgers because he's as good. I mean like his physical mechanics look just like Aaron Rodgers, which it should. He's been playing behind him for 3-4 years. Like, he's going to, like, mimic that throw. And like, so when I see him do things, it's like, it looks like how Aaron Rodgers would have done it. So I do appreciate him with a lot of respect. They're the youngest team in playoff history. And I think that's going to be shown in that game. Like, say what you want about the Cowboys and our playoff woes. We have experience. Like, these niggas have been here before. They've done that. You know, the media trade out the ass because of the Cowboys. Go ahead.
Time out. When was the last time you guys made the divisional or like won a playoff game?
Okay, I was going to say last year. We ended Tom Brady's career And Dak Prescott threw 6 touchdowns, by the way. So I'm hoping that Dak on my first Cowboys game, you're kind of hoping to do the same thing because that'd be pretty key. It'd be pretty key if you did that. So the score of this game, I think that it's going to be. I think they're going to hang around for like the beginning of this game. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. 2 scenarios are going to happen. I'll break it down to you guys. I am a diehard Cowboys fan, and when I tell you that I can tell what kind of game it's going to be from the first 2 drives, I'm telling you I can tell you what kind of game it's going to be. So here's what's going to happen. If we start the game off and the Cowboys, let's say we get the ball or we don't have the ball, whatever. Let's say we get the ball, we go down, we score a touchdown, it looks easy. You know, Dak's moving the ball, boom, boom, boom. If that happens, and then they go down, they do that twice. If they move the ball down the field twice offensively in the first 2 drives, it's going to be a smack down. Hear it from me close. It's going to be an absolute smack down obliteration. We're going to put up a 40-burger again, which, like, okay, you're going to be like, all right, Mike. Have you looked at our season, nigga? We could pull a 40-burger out our goddamn ass. I don't want to hear it.
You have one of the best wideouts in the game. For some reason, it's absolutely unguardable. I've watched too many times with the nigga just running out wide the fuck open.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, the second scenario, and I don't think that we lose. So, the 2 scenarios that I'm painting does not equal a loss because I'm firmly confident, while I do know Green Bay's a formidable opponent and we absolutely could lose, like that's some Cowboy shit to do. I don't think that's going to happen, so my 2 scenarios don't include a loss. The second scenario, so we go out there, let's say 3-and-out first drive. Green Bay scores. We go out there, we move the ball kind of well, we get a field goal, blah, 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 blah. What that game's going to be is that game's going to be close through the first half, and what we're all going to be saying is, here them Cowboys again. Here them Cowboys. That's going to be the conversation, I guarantee you. What's different this year is Dak Prescott's playing absolutely out of his mind, and it's crazy because I have the most confidence in him out of any player on that team. And, you know, second would probably be CD, then Micah. But right now, I think Micah's overall the best player, but as far as confidence heading into the playoffs, that's how I'm ranking. Dak's going to play out of his mind, and I think the consistency of Dak throughout the whole game will allow us to pull out for the second half, which the second scenario I just laid out is the one that I actually think is going to happen. So the score I'm going to go with will probably be somewhere around, I'd say we get about 33 to maybe 23.
Okay. Wow, you're saying they would score, what, 2 to 3 TDs or 3 TDs?
Jordan Love's playing good, and our defense can be they can let some things go from here to here, but he's going to throw an interception for sure. And he's going to get sacked a few times for sure. Like, he's going to get his ass beat for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, I don't see them losing either. But I do think if I had to put a score on it, I'd probably do 30-20.
Okay, so we're playing around the same ballpark.
I think they're going to win by 2 possessions. I don't think this is going to be a 1-possession game that they're going to have to, like, play defense or, you know, Green Bay's going to have to force.
What's the line of that game?
What's the line?
Yeah, do we know? Do you have that up or no?
I do not. I could actually probably pull it up. I'm just on the ESPN, like, fucking shit. They might not even have it. What the hell?
I'd just be curious, right? So they have it at home.
Well, I think if I had to guess, they're thinking they're about to mollywop them. Oh, dude, I don't know if they have the line up here.
I'm about to pull it up real quick.
They usually like pull it like for most games, like that's weird. But I mean, right, so I definitely think it'll be. It
is -7.5 Dallas.
Yeah, so 2 possessions still, or technically 1 possession, but I mean, I think they're seeing, you know,
they're hoping people take that Packers line. Dallas is probably going to really rock these guys.
I think, like I said, I think it could be competitive. I just think if they start out slow, the Packers, there's no way they get back. Like if they start out super slow, like they don't get points at all. Like if they start like that for the first quarter, they get 3 points out of the first quarter, and then don't come back with at least a touchdown and some 3 more points before halftime. That shit's over. Like it ain't even. There's nothing to even talk about at that point. Well, next game we got LA Rams, Detroit Lions. Obviously, wishing you the best in your travels as well, Mike. We'll be talking. I know we will. LA Rams versus the Detroit Lions. I'll go ahead and go first here. I'm going to go Lions 33, Rams 13. Why do I say Lions 33, Rams 13? I told you I think the Detroit Lions are going to mollywop them. I don't think they're going to mollywop them in the first half. I think that the defense is going to show up. Matthew Stafford's going to not be able to adjust the way that he has assumed to. I give him all his props. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I can't take anything away from him. Granted, I was not rooting for him in that Super Bowl. But I do think that he will struggle a little bit, at least, with just the energy that Detroit's going to bring. Like the flat out energy, not even just like, oh, we're getting to the quarterback, just the energy throughout the entirety of the game. Like I said, he's an experienced quarterback. I know he can handle stuff like that. But these people are hyped up. The fans are hyped up. The fucking players are on cloud nine. The coach is on crack. Like, it is one of those things. And I genuinely think that the thing that I believe is if you punch them in the mouth so they score first drive on them, like the Rams score first drive on the Lions, I think they're just going to get even more fucking fired up on some tweak shit. Like, I don't think there's a way to put this team down in terms of spirit, which is a huge part of momentum in games, because momentum is based off of belief in yourself and confidence. As long as these guys have that superior confidence, I don't see the Rams having this a game in the second half. Like, longer than, and it meaning longer than like 5 minutes in the third quarter. At most. At most. That's my flat-out honest opinion. I could be completely wrong. I'd love to see the Lions win and play the Cowboys. But I think it would be a better game if they played the Cowboys. I mean, just to be honest.
Probably, yeah.
But, I mean, I also think that for the occasion, I don't think Matthew Stafford's going to rise to this occasion this time around, in my opinion.
I agree. I don't think he's going to rise to the occasion. I have it a closer game. I'm probably going to go 28-24 Lions. I think that the Lions' run game, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, in inclusion with Amon-Ra St. Brown will end up being too much. One thing that scares me about the Lions, two things actually. Sam Laporta, the tight end, the rookie tight end that's been an absolute stud all year, fantasy demon. He's not going to be playing. He's going to be out. That concerns me. And the reason why that concerns me is because the only way the Lions lose, Sterling, I feel like you'll agree with me on this, is the X factor is Jared Goff. If Jared Goff plays a clean game, Lions should win this game, no doubt, like you're saying. If he throws a pick or two, which he can do, like it's Jared Goff, he can throw a pick here and there. I think those type of plays, depending on when that happens, like could swing it. Because one thing about the Rams, they can put up points like nobody's business. They got Kyron Williams, who's a great running back playing. Puka Nacua, wherever his name is, the rookie who's just breaking all the records. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's still there. We know what kind of white boy that nigga is. So Matthew Stafford, they can put up points. So if Jared Goff is, giving the ball up, giving a good field position, that can kind of sway the game. But I expect the Lions to go in there and handle business. I expect them to be looking forward to playing us and getting their rematch, so they'll probably take care of things.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, I'm going to be tuned into all the games, and I'm super excited for it, this week. It's I feel like I've been waiting for this all year. Like, I've literally been so excited because I knew this would be a good postseason. So, next game we got, the last game in the NFC for the weekend, we got your division rivals, Philadelphia Eagles, fumbling the bag at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll go ahead and I'll just do my thing first every time. But, so, I'm looking at this game right now. And I really like Jalen Hurts. I do like Jalen Hurts. I think he seems like a decent guy. Seems like a great leader for the team.
I guess.
years. But I have an inkling that they could fall really flat on their face, even more than they did against the Cardinals. Granted, it doesn't matter against the Cardinals the last game of the season, you knew, but it did matter. But I think they have an opportunity to fall on their face. But I think championship experience and just flat out will to beat the fucking Cowboys is going to get them to the next round. So I'm taking 27-23 Eagles.
Okay.
And that's it. I have nothing else to say about it. It's literally just I've watched these guys literally shit the bed for the past 4 weeks. It's just but I can't go against a team that was just in the Super Bowl last year just based off a playoff pedigree versus the team that's basically has some because they had the Brady era, but Baker Mayfield, I have no faith in him. He was a Carolina Panther, bro. He's not winning. He just won't. He just won't win.
So for me, it's less about. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I actually think the Eagles. I think the morale and where things are in that locker room right now is you can't repair it, and I feel like people are just. I feel like the sentiment in that locker room is just let's get the season over with. I feel like it'd be a sigh of relief, a monkey off their back to be in the off season and prepare for next year and kind of, come back with a vengeance because I don't think they're going to be a shit team next year. I feel like they'll probably figure their shit out and come back and do things like they should have this year. But I'm going to go 2017 Baker Mayfield. He takes it out with the Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, this time next year, progressive commercials everywhere, or whoever the fuck he was commercial with. I think it was Progressive, right? He's going to have his new crib at the Tampa Bay Stadium. He's going to be back on his commercials. Baker Mayfield's going to be all over the TV again. He's going to be in the playoffs. He's going to get his little check. Because Baker's playing for money here. You got to, this is, Baker don't win this game, and he might make veteran minimum next year. If he win this game, he's getting at least 20. At least 20. My man, his wife is looking at him hey, nigga. You know what you need to do if you want to come back home tonight. You better finish the business. So I think he finishes off. No A.J. Brown for the Eagles. Well, actually, I think he is playing, but he's going to be hurt. So I think he'll be limited. I don't know. I think it's just gone bad too far. So I'm going 2017 Buccaneers.
Gotcha. I think it was the first one that we've disagreed on. I think at this point, AFC, we got Cleveland Browns at Houston Texans, 5-4, Saturday 4:30 Eastern. As I already mentioned on NBC, super pumped for that as well. Tough because the Browns look so good, and I just don't know how the fuck they did it. Joe Flacco looks like a demon right now.
He does.
That dude's a fucking demon time, and it's fucking scary. Still want to better mention that the AFC North literally could have had 4 teams in the playoffs if it wasn't just based off of just on some crazy shit.
If Joe didn't get hurt.
Yeah, that would have been insane. And there's 3 of them in the playoffs now, which is really cool to see and to show you how strong that division has been over the years. But order this game, CJ Stroud, man, I want to put faith in this guy, man. I really, 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 really do. I really, really do. Because he's that dude. We fucked up. The Panthers fucked up. I'm going to be 100% honest. We fucked up. Bryce Young will end up being better. That'll be fine. That'll be cool. We fucked up. This dude's that nigga. He's just flat out that nigga. And I think most people would agree with that. And it's not off of recency bias. He has performed in just about every game he's been in, even in the losses.
Yeah.
Another team, 10-7 record?
Oh, he's a top 10 quarterback already, and he's closer to the 5 than he is to 10 these days.
Yeah.
He's definitely...
And he's doing it with a team that isn't, necessarily the most talented team in the league either. They just have the right pieces together. D'Amico Ryan, super excited for a black coach having another good team going to go off of and build with, So I'm taking the Texans. Tough. God. 24-20.
Oh, okay.
24-20. I think the Texans are going to be down coming into the fourth, and then they're going to win the game in the fourth. Against Flackie. I love Joe Flacco, don't get me wrong. I really, really do. But
24-20. I can't say that I do.
Texans.
I think I'm indifferent.
I like Joe Flacco. I think he's a grinder, and he's been in the league for a while as a vet, and he shows prowess, and I think that's really just something you're not going to find in a lot of people nowadays in the league.
I think I like him this season, but I remember not really caring for him for a majority of his career. But damn, I'm torn on this one like you too, and more so not torn on what I think, but because of what I would like to happen. I would love to see CJ come in there and just fucking slice and dice and get his first win. But that Browns defense, man, Myles Garrett, bro, I think Myles Garrett's got something to say about that. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't expect CJ Stroud to have a bad game, but I would not be surprised if this is the first time that we see CJ, noticeably struggle and work for every yardage that he gets in this game. Fuck. I'm going to go with the Browns in this game. I think the defense and the experience would be too much for the Texans. Kind of the same thing with Green Bay, but I think they have a better chance than Green Bay does. But I think the experience and I think the toughness of the Browns would be too much. Like, those are dogs over there. The Texans right now, Texans, they're good. They look like, those are some pretty puppies. Those puppies are gorgeous. They look like they're going to grow up to be stallions, but they are what they are right now, and that's fucking puppies. And we got grown-ass dogs lining up next to you ready to fucking eat, bro. Think about it. This team doesn't have Nick Chubb. This team doesn't have Deshaun Watson, and they're getting busy. Their tight end burnt his whole goddamn face and played the next day. What is up, bro? Like, these niggas are built different, bro. Like, imagine putting that helmet on your whole, his whole face is burnt up, discoloration, everything. Imagine putting your helmet on your face, getting hit in there, the helmet's moving and swap. Bro, these niggas built different, bro. I can't go against Cleveland. I'm gonna go score. I think it's going to be defensive. I'm going to say 24 to 14.
Okay. I definitely feel you on the defensive side. I think early in the game you could see CJ Stroud struggle. I don't think he'll struggle the entirety of the game. I definitely believe that. Next game we got Miami Dolphins, number 6 seed at number 3, KC Chiefs. I'd love to see the Dolphins beat fucking Patrick Mahomes, dude. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. But, I mean, you were talking earlier about that wind chill. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, bro. If I'm playing any sport in -3, and granted, even if it was football and I'm, played in cold weather, and, whatnot, nah, I'm out. Hey, coach, you can go ahead and, get me one of the big jackets. I ain't going in today, bro. I'm good. Don't even fuck with me. If I had to go on a sport that I have faith in Patrick Mahomes, I mean, these guys they've won the division for the past, decade almost at this point. They've been in the playoffs. They won 2 Super Bowls, against the Miami freaking Dolphins, one of the most inconsistent teams I've ever seen. Legitimately one of the most inconsistent teams I've ever seen. Beat your Cowboys, though.
Yeah, only 500 team they beat all season. They would have to fucking beat us.
Yeah, I think that's still to this day.
And I think that cost Dak the MVP too. The defense letting them come back and win that, because had that game-winning drive that he put together, had that ended up being a game-winning drive, I think Dak would be people would think Dak is the MVP, but they're going to give it to Lamar.
Right. Well, I'm thinking Patty Mahomes, obviously the MVP of this game. I think it's hard to beat that, especially when they allow him to get hold, people don't call holding on the Chiefs, which I've literally taken videos on my phone of this shit. I don't do that to anybody.
You really hate that nigga Pat, bro.
I don't like him, bro. He's a fucking loser. He's making millions. I can't be mad at him making the bread. I ain't even mad at that. He's just a fucking dweeb. I would not want to hang out with that nigga like ever, unless he was just buying me trips and shit. Like,
buying shit, yeah.
Like, but I'm gonna go. I think the Chiefs have to score a lot of points, just as much as I think the Dolphins have to score a lot of points to win the game. Because I think the Chiefs defense is good, yes, and the Dolphins is not as good. But I do think with the ability, like Tyreek's played in Kansas City, Tua has not, obviously, or not played. Like he hasn't played there as being on the team. Tyreek shouldn't have an issue. Some of the other guys have been down there. Braxton, does he play for the Jets now? He's down there too. Braxton Berrios. Those guys are gonna definitely struggle. Being we know Braxton's a Carolina boy, you ain't gonna fuck with that cold.
I don't know.
I'm going 33. No, I'm going 33 to 27.
Okay.
I don't think there's gonna be much defense in that game. Just to be honest, I think that's just gonna open up really fast, and it's just like you want to get into a shootout with Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead, bro. Be my fucking guest. I don't know why you want to, but you ain't never gonna be able to sack him. Gonna hold his ass.
Yeah, I feel like you could be right because there's it could, like, with a really cool game, it could either be a shootout because, maybe people aren't as aggressive or as willing to get down in the nitty-gritty like they usually would for every single play. Like, maybe there's a hesitation where there was, like, no hesitation, straight reaction. So there could be more plays. Or, like, defensive could hinder, or the cold could hinder the offense, and it could be more defensive. I think there's going to be points being put up in this game, though. These are teams who, although Miami's up and down, there's players there that have done it at the highest level, and so I imagine them to bring that energy to the locker room. But I can't see them beating the Chiefs. I think this game, I don't think the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, but I think this game against this Dolphins team and how they've been playing, their inconsistencies, I think that this is a game where the Chiefs, who have been in the Super Bowl year in, year out, I think that's where that kind of plays in and gives them the edge. Like, the little small mistakes, I imagine that they clean up for this game. I have more confidence in Kansas City playing a clean game than I do Miami playing a clean game.
Can't trust Tua, bro.
No, you can't trust him. Tua's going to throw an interception or two. He's going to guarantee that.
That's what I guarantee. Every game, bro, he's going to do that. Like, so in the playoffs, if they're in the playoffs, he's going to do it.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs win this one. I think they win it kind of comfortably. So I'm gonna go 28-20.
Okay. Still that one score game. I still give you that. All right. Next we got on the docket. Last game we're talking about, I guess. We got I have to keep saying the Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers at Buffalo Bills. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you something. If the Buffalo Bills have been streaking, that's the only reason they got the second seed right now. They were streaking into the playoffs. Streaking. Played really, really well the last few weeks. But Josh Allen ain't got the fucking clutch gene, bro. He does not legitimately have that gene. Like, he folds. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. He is a folder. He is not as talented as everybody said. He's top 5 quarterback. Bro, no. Get that shit out of my face. Like, literally, there's only maybe one white quarterback I'd put at the top right now.
Yeah.
In the top 5, like, there's not.
Two. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. But it's like, dude, I don't trust these niggas, bro. I don't trust them. I have no faith in them. None. I don't give a fuck if they've been streaking or not. Like, they have shown over the years consistently. They are the Cowboys of the AFC, bro. No offense to your boys. Like, they have been the Cowboys of the AFC.
But it's okay.
I mean, it's the truth, though, and I know you can agree with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like they have all the talent, they got all the pieces, and it's like, damn, Josh gets to the game with 3 interceptions. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Stephon can't catch a ball. He getting 50 yards in the game, 3 receptions. Like, what's going on? I think Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come in here and fucking not beat the brakes off them, going to embarrass them at home. Being embarrassing, just the fact that you're losing to a 17 as a number 2 seed at home in your place where you want to be. I think they're going to get in there. The Steelers are going to come in there and beat them 24-13. And I know that probably sounds crazy saying that the Steelers will score 24 points because they have no fucking offense. But I think that's what's going to happen. Mike Tomlin is that dude. He will, in my opinion, if Bill Belichick didn't have the chips he had right now, Mike Tomlin would be up there with easily top 5 for me. Best coach of just what he's done over the past few years with what he's had. So I have faith in the Steelers. I'm going 24-13 Steelers.
Hey, that's bold. But no, Mike Tomlin's my favorite coach in the league by far. And if I had to play for anybody, it would be Mike. I would just like for him to, switch teams so I could play for the Cowboys with Mike Tomlin there. But no, I'm a big fan of Mike. I think he's, like you said, if Bill Belichick hadn't been in his way all those years, he might have had a couple more rings himself
100%.
and would be touted as the pinnacle of coaching. But I think it's going to be a good game. And I'm honestly right there with you, other than the fact that TJ Watt not playing is what keeps me from giving the Steelers a dub. Because I can almost guarantee you Josh Allen's going to turn this ball over like wildfire this whole game. He's going to do some crazy-ass, nice shit, and he's going to turn the ball over. It's just what he does. He's going to have 300 yards. He's probably going to get his 2 touchdowns or whatever. He's probably going to rush for some first downs on a 4th and long or a 3rd and long or something. And it's going to look cool. And then he's going to chuck the ball up deep and it's going to be picked off. And it's going to be meaningless. I'm telling you. But so the absence of TJ Watt is keeping me from giving the Steelers the dub. If TJ Watt was playing, I would be right there on you. Pause. I'd be right there with you on your topic. Or on your pick and being going with the Steelers, but I'm gonna have to go. I think Josh can do everything he can to give it to the Steelers, but I think that they'll still pull it out in the end. I'm gonna have to go. Dang, I don't even. I'm gonna go 24-13.
Same score, just the opposite way.
Oh, damn, you said 24-13? Maybe subconsciously, that's why I said that.
Yeah. It might have been. So right now, man, we're pretty I guess we have a pretty even split down the middle in terms of the 6 games this weekend. I've got the Steelers, you got the Bills, we both got the Chiefs, I got the Texans, you got the Browns, I have the Eagles, you have the Bucks, we both have the Cowboys, both have the Lions. So some exciting stuff coming this weekend. It's a perfect into the pod, perfect way to go into the first and one of the most exciting weekends of the new year as we go on moving forward. I'm pumped, man. And for I have a friend of ours or a friend of mine. She's been trying to get into sports for the past year or two, and I've been trying to help her, trying to keep up with football and stuff. It's hard, when you don't know anything about the sport and you're trying to teach. And it's yeah, that's a first down. No, that's a holding. That's an incomplete pass. That's a fumble. That's an interception. That's good for you if your team did it.
Especially football.
Yeah, football's a lot of other stuff going on.
Because there's some shit that happens where it's what does that mean? I'm like, hold on, wait for the rep to explain it because sometimes I don't even really fucking know. I'm like, let me see what he's got to say first.
Exactly. So, if you're ladies, obviously if you're a gentleman, you watch sports. But if you're a lady and you don't really watch sports, I would highly encourage watching football. I think most women love it. If they give the time to actually get into it and learn the guys and not just think somebody. If you have to get into it by the means of thinking somebody's just cute, then do that and then just attach yourself to that player and learn the game around that if that's what you got to do. But yeah, man, I'm fucking pumped. I literally cannot wait for Saturday. Like, I do not like. I'm like you can fast forward, bro. Like, I guess the state UNC game is gonna come tomorrow. I'll watch that and whatever. But like, I really don't even care that much because unless if UNC was my alma mater, yeah, I probably care. But like, hey, bro, like, I'm pumped. It's gonna be a blast of a weekend. Mike, obviously, hope you stay safe on your trip down there in the saloon out there in Dallas, and hopefully your boys can pull out a win for you because, like I said, it'd be a fucking damn shame you just pull up and like it just falls apart. I mean, I don't want that for you, but it would be funny as fuck.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. I'm hoping that I can have a nice, fun experience. Go hop on that little hologram picture where the Cowboys jump in the picture with you. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing all the little knick-knack things, and hopefully when we speak again, hopefully I have some fun energy to bring. If not, we might just skip over that game.
No. Ain't no way. If y'all find a way to lose, I swear I will make.
It's gonna be the lead-off topic.
Yeah. So Cowboys lost to Jordan Love. Nah, honestly, you said.
I do the final editing, so.
Oh, that's true.
No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do no fucking weak ass shit like that.
I just be thinking to myself, I'm like, if it is the Ravens Cowboys, I like Lamar, but it'd be fuck that nigga if he beat us for the rest of his career.
That has to be fuck that nigga, and I would hate that it had to be that way, but like he'd just be the ops, like he'd be the ops.
But that's gonna do it for us, man. I mean, I've had a blast. Like I said, the break that we had was well needed. And super excited to give you guys some good new content. Got some stuff coming out here soon. Mike's been, heading that for us, and it was supposed to be out or recorded earlier, but man's busy. Man's being me. But that being said, obviously enjoy you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 5 stars on audio platforms. Be on the stuff. We're gonna bring a lot of new stuff to you guys, and we want to continue to see this grow and we cherish all the time that we have with you guys, even over the hour and a half, whatever we have you via. Whatever way you're listening to us. But thank you so much. Mike, close it out.
Yes, sir. For all the fellas out there listening, listen, my brother, they only want a 1% nigga. A 1% nigga. But they don't want you to be so up to 1% that you on Epstein Island and you out on this court documents. Don't be going into that 0.1%. 1% is good enough for you. You ain't gotta have it all, my nigga. You trust me, you ain't gotta have it all. So quit your bitching and get your bread up, all right? And for the ladies out there listening, listen, lady, he don't want you, sweetie. Please move on. Please cut it out. It's 2024, your New Year's resolution to be cut out the niggas that don't want you. If they ain't hitting you up, they don't want you. They're hitting you up at 12 o'clock, they don't want you. They want a part of you. And it would be perfect if some magical way you could just leave that there in a box and they could just keep that and you can be on your way, all right? So don't take it personally. Remember, you're still beautiful and powerful and will always love you. It's the After Dark Podcast. Until next time.